G'day throttlers, welcome back to the channel. What better way to start your day? It's a sunny summer Sydney morning. I'm down here at the boat shed at La Perouse. I've got my favourite coffee in my hand and I've got an epic little car to take you. Today I'm in the Volkswagen T-Cross. Now this is probably the ultimate city compact SUV. So let's hit the road and talk about it on the way. Today we are heading to Watson's Bay for some lunch in the park. I haven't been to Watson's Bay for a long time, so I thought I'd take you guys there with me as we talk about this T-Cross. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the specs on this T-Cross. Now, as a city-based SUV, one thing you don't want is a big fuel guzzling engine. You want an engine that's zippy enough to get you around town and nothing more than that. That's where this comes into its own. It's got the perfect little engine. It's a 3-cylinder, 1-litre turbocharged engine. And when you think about a 1-litre engine in comparison to the rest of the market, you actually think, wow, that looks like it would be very, very underpowered. However, nothing could be further from the truth. This little Volkswagen 1-litre engine is an absolute ripper. It's zippy, it gives you enough punch when you need it, but then it just goes back to being a very fuel efficient little engine for the rest of the time. It's a cracker of a day here in Sydney today. Looking out the window, that's Coogee Beach I'm passing right now, and it's just stunning. There's joggers out, there's already families on the beach, and I'm working, but work isn't that bad, is it? Okay, that 1-litre engine produces 85 kilowatts of power and 200 Newton meters of torque. Again, those numbers don't sound very big, but they're more than adequate for what you're going to use this car for in general. And I think it's a perfect little package. 5.4 litres per 100 kilometres. That's certainly going to keep the bank balance looking good. And all of that is mated to the Volkswagen DSG 7-speed gearbox. And the more I spend time with these gearboxes, the more I absolutely love them. You can slip it over into manual, use the paddle shifters on the steering wheel, and get so much control. Look, I'm a manual car lover and I always will be. There's nothing in the world that's going to replace that 3-pedal and stick shift in my opinion. However, the world has changed, and once upon a time when you'd have to pay a surplus to get an automatic transmission, these days you have to pay a surplus to get a manual transmission in sports cars, which is absolutely insane. But that's where we live. More than 80% of drivers on the planet don't know how to drive manual cars, and that's scary. So this is where the DSGs really come into their own, because you can put it in automatic, slip it into sports mode, and have an amazing throttle response, very, very quick gear changes, and the gears will hold longer when needed as well. But then pop it over into manual and you have full control with these paddle shifters, and it's kind of the next best thing after the fact of having a manual. But the reality is, even though I'm a manual car lover, there is something to be said about being able to pop a DSG into automatic while you're cruising in the city. Remember, I live in the city. If I was living in a country town, it would be different. But to cruise around, drinking coffee one-handed, that's a big bonus in my books. The reality of living in Sydney is narrow streets like this. That's why this is a good car. Now, I know a lot of you are international viewers, so I thought I'd just take a little detour down to what might be our most famous beach, Bondi Beach, and just let you have a look while we're on our way. So, I did think coming here early I'd be able to get a parking spot to show you around, but it just ain't gonna happen. It's so busy here already. I guess it is summer and still school holidays. Famous Bondi lifeguard tower from Bondi Rescue. Well, as beautiful as our eastern suburbs are, it's so overpopulated and I can't get out of there fast enough. However, let's talk about who I think this car is for, because this is a really versatile vehicle. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, this is a compact city SUV. This is the ultimate vehicle for anyone living in populated areas. It's compact enough to get through all of these crazy car-filled streets that we have in Sydney, in particular the inner west and the eastern suburbs like here. Some of the streets are very narrow, and this is the perfect vehicle. Not only is it compact, but it's tall like an SUV, so it's kind of like a Volkswagen Polo on stilts, you might say, and I think it's the perfect recipe for a city car. Now, the other thing I really love about this car is predominantly it's going to be a family car, no doubt. And in saying all of that, all of the top surfaces are hard plastics, but textured hard plastics. So they look really nice, but they're durable. And if your kids are getting scratches on it or finger marks or anything like that, they're all going to repair really easily. Look, and also all of the important places where you need to rest your elbows for comfort are all soft touch and comfortable. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Now, because of that 1 litre engine, it's a very frugal car. So if you're someone that's on a very tight budget and doesn't want to have to spend too much money on fuel, especially the way fuel is priced at the moment, or you're someone who's trying to reduce your carbon footprint but you're not quite ready for the electric scene just yet, or the hybrid scene, this is your car. It's still an internal combustion engine. You can still fuel up in 3 minutes when you get to a service station rather than having to wait 45 minutes for a charge. But you're not burning much fuel, so you're reducing your carbon footprint as well. And the purchase price of these are very, very friendly. Now, from memory, I might not be 100% right, but I'll pop it on the screen. But I'm thinking these are driving away at somewhere between $40,000 and $45,000. And that is, for what you're getting, for the convenience, for the practicality, that's a good price. That's a really good price. Just like that, I get to Watson's Bay and they're not open for breakfast. Well, not the breakfast that I wanted anyway. So we need to go somewhere else. But what I want to do first, I want to take you to a location where we can do a walk around the T-Cross and have a better look at it. All right, just before I find a car park to do a walk around the T-Cross, I wanted to bring you down here. This is a pretty special part of Sydney, quite beautiful. This is South Head, or an area known as the Gap. Absolutely magic here. Straight out there, that's the little seaside village of Manly. Well, it was a seaside village, it's now a huge metropolis, but that's Manly, North Head, straight out into the Pacific Ocean. And it looks like someone's on their way out for a bit of fun as well. Well, that's enough of sightseeing, and to be honest, I don't even know if this video is going to work because I smashed my screen just a moment ago. So I won't know until I get home if you're even going to see this footage. I do need to buy a new camera, sadly. Expenses. Anyway, let's get back onto this car, walk around, my final thoughts. See you in a minute. Well, a whole new angle to this video. It's bloody hard to find a car park somewhere in the eastern suburbs that's empty so I can actually do a walk around video for you guys. So what I've done, I've altered my course. I'm now in Centennial Park, which is smack bang in the center of the eastern suburbs, and it's a beautiful parkland. And I'm going to pull over just up here and do a walk around for you, and then offer my final thoughts to you before I actually go and find a really spot on breakfast. Anyway, let's park here and talk about this car. Okay, let's start on the outside. The Volkswagen T-Cross, really beautiful looking car, in particular in this colour as well. I think it looks really classy and really stylish. Anyway, we don't want to get in the way of any cyclists. LED lighting all round, front and rear. Nice little driving lights down here as well. Plenty of chrome on this particular model. I guess the chrome adds a bit of class to it and it just makes it pop that little bit more. Nice 18-inch alloy wheels and the badge up here that just shows that it is actually an R-Line model. Color-coded wing mirrors with the indicator also included in the wing mirror. Roof rails as well, so you can actually attach roof racks onto the roof rails if you choose. A nice black strip across the back there that actually makes it look really stylish, and the T-Cross logo on the back. And of course in the front seat, like most Volkswagens, this is a very comfortable place to be. These R-Line seats are actually really hugging. Lots of bolsters on the side to stop you from moving from left to right. Super, super comfortable. Now the steering wheel has all physical touch buttons, none of the haptic buttons, so that's what I really like. I think that's a really good thing. Now there is haptic controls here on the air conditioning setup, so you do have to slide or touch for the haptic. It's not a physical press button to increase the temperature or lower the temperature, or the fan as well. But we do have cordless charging in here, but not cordless Apple CarPlay or Android. If you want to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you do have to plug in with a small USB-C to USB-C lead, but there is cordless charging in there. Now I'm sitting in the back seat now of the T-Cross, and there is absolutely ample room in here. There's 2 USB-C outlets and a little pocket. No air conditioning in the back of this, but it's small enough that you get plenty of air conditioning from the front seat. If you want to increase the size of your boot from 385 litres to 455 litres, all you have to do is reach under the back seat here, slide forward, and you do lose leg space, obviously, but you increase the boot space by quite a substantial amount. Now, if you've only got kids in the back here, you don't really need the leg space, and you have absolutely more boot space than you could possibly need for a small compact SUV. Well, there you go, team. That's a look at the Volkswagen T-Cross R-Line. Great little car. As always, this car has been supplied by Sutherland Volkswagen. So if you're in the market for a Volkswagen and you're on the east coast of Australia, check out Sutherland Volkswagen. And if you mention that you watched it on Throttle Down Under up until June 2023, when you purchase your car, you will get 2 years of free servicing on top of your purchase as well, free of charge, just because you're one of my friends. Anyway, folks, as always, throttle on, stay safe. It's time for me to go and have a bite to eat, finally, and have a good day, team. See ya. Well, I finally got my breakfast, a beautiful crock monster. I'm going to enjoy this and take the car back to Sutherland. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you got anything out of the video at all. Thanks, guys. Cheers.